If you're a barber or stylist working out of a home studio, a private suite, or even thinking about going mobile, one of the biggest limitations that you'll run into is not having proper access to a proper wash station. And that's a problem because being able to shampoo, rinse, and properly prep the hair can completely change the quality of your service and the overall client experience. So in this video, I'm going to be taking a closer look at the Luxe Lather Deluxe Bundle. It's a fully portable, self-contained shampoo system that's designed to give you that full barbershop or salon feel without needing any plumbing at all. I'm going to break down what it is, how it works, and whether it actually makes sense to add something like this into your setup. The Luxe Lather Deluxe Bundle is essentially designed to replicate a full professional shampoo station without relying on permanent plumbing, which is what makes it stand out immediately, especially for barbers or stylists working out of home studios, private suites, or mobile setups. At its core, it's a completely self-contained system, meaning everything you'd normally expect from a traditional salon sink is built into one unit. You've got a freshwater tank, a wastewater tank, an internal pump, and a heating system, all working together. And once you fill the clean water reservoir and plug the unit into the standard outlet, it delivers consistent water flow through the sprayer, just like a regular sink would. And there's no need to connect to pipes, there's no need to connect to drainage hookups, and there's no need for any kind of installation beyond basic setup, which honestly usually only takes a few minutes. That alone removes one of the biggest barriers for barbers who want to start offering wash services but don't want to deal with the costs or limitations of plumbing. And when you start looking at the performance side of things, this is where it becomes clear that the system is built to perform at a professional level. The unit pushes out water at around 3.5 gallons per minute, which is strong enough to comfortably rinse out thick hair, product buildup, or even longer styles without feeling weak or underpowered. And that's important because a lot of portable sinks fall short in this area, and the experience ends up feeling more like a workaround than a real service. And on top of that, it includes a built-in hot water tank with about a 2.5 gallon capacity, allowing you to provide warm rinses instead of cold water. And that might seem like a small detail, but from a client experience, it makes a huge difference. Warm water obviously not only feels better, but it helps with things like loosening product, improving shampoo effectiveness, and overall making the service feel more premium and intentional. The physical design of the unit is also something worth paying attention to. The footprint is compact enough to fit in most setups, sitting at roughly around 36 inches in height, about 30 inches in width, and 20 inches in depth, which makes it manageable in even tighter spaces. The working height is set to be ergonomic for the barbers, so you're not bending awkwardly or straining your back while using it, and the included rolling cart adds a bit of extra height, but more importantly, mobility. That means you can easily reposition the sink depending on your workflow, or even just move it out of the way completely when you're not using it. For anyone in a shared or multi-use space, that flexibility is a huge advantage. The build itself is designed for repeated daily use with materials that resist water damage, staining, and general wear. So it's not something that feels temporary or fragile. It's meant to hold up over time. Another key part of the deluxe bundle is the inclusion of extra water jugs, which might not seem like a big deal at first, but in practice, it makes a huge difference in how smoothly your day runs. Having additional 6-gallon containers ready means you can go through multiple clients without constantly stopping to refill or empty tanks. And that's especially useful if you're stacking appointments or you're trying to maintain a steady workflow, and instead of breaking your momentum, you can just swap out the containers and keep moving. It turns the unit from something you might use occasionally into something you can realistically integrate into your regular service. And from a functionality standpoint, everything about this system is designed to mimic what you'd expect in a traditional barbershop. You've got the standard faucet with a handheld sprayer for control, a drainage system that collects used water into the waste tank, and the internal pump so it keeps the pressure consistent so you're not dealing with uneven flow. And it's also got the heating system, and that ensures that you're not limited to cold water rinses. All of these components working together create an experience that feels familiar and professional for both you and your client sitting in your chair. What makes a setup like this particularly valuable is how it expands the kind of service that you can offer. Instead of just doing dry cuts, you now have the option to incorporate pre-washes, post-cut rinses, or full shampoo services into your routine. And that opens the door to not only improving the quality of your work, but also elevating the overall experience you're providing. Clients tend to notice those details, and it can shift how they perceive your service from something basic to something more complete and premium. And at the same time, the portability aspect gives you a level of freedom that fixed plumbing simply doesn't offer. If you ever decide to change your setup, move locations, or even experiment with mobile services, you're not locked into one space. You can take the entire system with you and set it up wherever you have access to power. Overall, the Luxe Lather Deluxe Bundle is built around the idea of removing limitations. It gives you the core functionality of a traditional shampoo station with the water pressure, temp control, proper drainage, without the need for a permanent installation. At the same time, it maintains a level of performance and durability that makes it viable for consistent everyday use. Whether it's the self-contained water system, the strong flow rate, the built-in heating, or the added convenience of mobility and extra capacity, every part of it is designed to make offering a wash service more accessible and more practical in a modern barbershop. Look guys, I really love this product, and it's done so much for improving the quality of life I have here in my home backyard studio. And if you're interested in learning more, you can visit pratsdirect.com. Thanks so much for watching this video.